Hello everybody and welcome back to Great Touch for a Big Lad, season...
Don't even
Seven.
know.
Seven.
I think it's season 7.
Yeah,
we are going to be consistent this time. We are promising you. It's going to be every single week. It's going to be brilliant. You're going to see it on this channel. You're going to hear it in your ears on your commute consistently. Okay, I've said it out loud now.
Not necessarily in this surrounding that we've got.
No.
Good point.
We could
Good
be on the
point.
move.
This is new, but short term, do we think?
Yes, I think so. I think so.
This is the one only that'll be in this room, is it?
Quite
Podcast.
possibly.
Never know.
But we can't talk about that right now because I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Oh yeah, so that.
No,
It's fine. But welcome back to another season of Great Touch for a Big Lad. My name is James Allcott. I'm a QPR fan, season ticket holder, and I'm quietly optimistic about the championship predictions we're about to make. We're going to go through it. We've all done our league table. Oh, quick look for you there, or quick swish of it if you're listening. We've all written down our league tables, and we will go through it today, and you will find out here and now who's going to win the championship this season. Did we get it right last season?
Spoiler
Did we get it
alert.
right last
We
season?
always get it right.
Yeah.
No.
We did a mid-season one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where we
Yeah.
had what was the YouTuber that come in?
Fogden.
Fogotron. Yeah,
Yeah.
he come in, didn't he?
Great
Yeah,
guy.
I think I had Stoke top.
I had Stoke top.
A lot of people had Stoke top.
Oh yeah, we did.
Even you did, didn't you?
That went to shit.
Even you had the top.
And we're about to
Probably.
get it wrong again this year.
Exactly. We have 3 championship fans in the room, as you will know if you're a Great Touch fan. Myself, QPR fan. Dominic, Brentford season ticket holder. Craig, Stoke City season ticket holder. And for a bit of perspective, and also it's always good when it's the championship because of the amount of loan moves that Chelsea make, Owen's here as well.
We
Owen's obviously one of our
supply,
key
supply
regulars.
most of the league's players, don't we? So,
Exactly.
Hey, you're welcome.
So, let's not mess about, okay? We're going to start with the bottom half.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to start with the bottom half. We've all got our league tables here. We've got the bookies odds as well. And I do wonder if that has played any part in it. Because I think this season, I feel like, as confusing as the championship is, that I also kind of feel like there are certain areas where a lot of the clubs will go. And I feel quite confident that they're going to be in those areas. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I say this earlier as well. I don't think it's as clear cut as maybe previous seasons.
I completely agree. The 3 relegated teams are usually you think they're going to be thereabouts, but I think it's going to be
I agree. I think it's going to be really tight.
Huddersfield,
I think it's open.
Cardiff. I could see them really being off the pace.
It'll probably be a surprising one as well. I can't see anyone at the moment. I know we've got a few weeks left of the window, but I can't see anyone at the moment who's like absolutely like going to walk it.
Yeah,
No.
I agree.
Yeah, but even last year, we thought Stoke were going to walk it.
Had a good go
So
at it, didn't we?
Yeah.
I've kind of put that into my thinking a little bit at times, and I've tried to throw in a few little elements where I'm like, no, something crazy is going to happen because there's a certain rhythm to the championship, and I feel like certain things always happen. So
Yeah.
that's reflected in mine. So let's kick off with 24th place. We might just sort of gloss over the mid-table bit at one
Worst
point.
bit, isn't it?
It is.
We'll chat.
Boring.
What we will do is we'll talk about maybe some surprises from the mid-table region.
I.e. season before last, Norwich would have been in that bracket, I imagine.
Yeah,
Look what they
very good
bloody
point.
did.
Very good. Maybe Cardiff the season before that.
Yeah.
Who are back in the championship this season. So in 24th position, so the bookies are going with Barnsley. And just to say, of course, that the transfers may happen between now and the start of the season. And I've actually kind of put that into my thinking as well. So these are early predictions, but we thought we'd give it a go. Barnsley are the bookies' favourites to go down. But none of us have gone with Barnsley as the bottom side.
But have we all got them going down? No, 3 or 4 of us
Don't
haven't.
give that away. We're trying to keep make them stick around. So 24th position, I've gone for Charlton. Owen agrees with me.
Yep.
And then you two have gone somewhere else. Why do you think Charlton, first of all?
Well, I think a promoted side who probably squeeze their way into the, not necessarily into the playoffs, but certainly weren't favourites to go up. And from looking at their ins and outs, there's been they haven't really brought anyone in, and they've lost a few players. So I think Bowyer did a great job last season. There was a bit of uncertainty coming into this season. Was he going to?
It's a bit unstable behind the scenes. Yeah. Didn't he briefly resign?
Well, I think it was for one day.
I swear a report came in that he'd gone.
Yeah, it looked like it was done, wasn't it?
And then he agreed a contract again the following
And that's
days.
never a good sign, is it?
I don't know. No, I just think it's a big step up. If they're not adding too many faces, then it could be a challenge for them.
They are that kind of club that does go up and down from League One. They are probably a little bit too big for League One. They were a good few points off Barnsley and Luton. I mean, Luton
had
an
a
incredible
great late
season.
run, didn't they?
Yeah, a very strong late run. Do you know what was alarm bells for me? And it's totally unfair, but Ben Amos. They've signed Ben Amos. And there are certain goalkeepers that go from club to club, and those clubs struggle in the Championship. I'm thinking of Joe Lewis of Scunthorpe, who would just go to these new clubs, or Lee Camp often does it. He's always kind of stuck around the leagues, but less so Lee Camp. They always seem to stay up when it's Lee Camp. But that name, Ben Amos, when I saw that, I was like, these are the calibre of players that they're kind of going for. The other players have come from Milton Keynes, Macaulay Barnett from Leyton Orient. So they're just not invested enough, really, and I don't think they will either.
Well, they've looked at probably the league they've just come from and further down, or some of those that have maybe been relegated last season. Like there's obviously Bolton. So I just think it'd be a struggle for them.
So the only person who hasn't got Charlton going down is you, Craig. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Ben Amos.
Ben Amos. I don't know. I do kind of think they've not lost too many crucial players. I think the momentum of promotion, playoffs, Lee Bowyer staying, I just think will be enough
that
to
was
get them over the
important,
line.
I think the two crucial players they have lost are in key position in centre backs. They lost two centre backs, and one of them was Bielek from Arsenal, and he was absolute rock for them in League One, and he's good enough to play for anyone in the Championship, I think. But I just feel that they haven't replaced.
Patrick Bauer's the other one.
Yeah, he went to Preston.
Yeah,
and I think they haven't really replaced them. Maybe they will, but I just think.
Yeah, I can't see how they're going to stay up. So are we going to look to decide on something, or are we just going to have a chat?
I think have a chat.
I think it's tough to
be
decide.
so hard to kind of
I think
think.
it's tough to decide. Maybe at the end we can say, we think that there's probably it's between 4 or 5 sides, and I think we've probably got at least 2 nailed on for all of us. Yeah.
So Charlton and have we all got Wigan? So I haven't put Wigan in there. I think Wigan will be okay because of Cook, the manager. I think he's great. Mm-hmm. I think he's been able to find these good players, and also a team like Wigan, they're often able to get some good loan signings. Reece James has gone, which is devastating for them. And Powell's gone, hasn't he, to you, which is also a massive loss for them. But when I saw them play, I was always quite impressed with them. And I think they'll be able to do the same thing. That's another reason why I think the league's going to be so sort of level this season, because there's a lot of teams that are using the loan market well. And I feel like they'll get some players in. Let me just have a quick look at the players that they brought in, if they have brought in anyone.
They got Lewis McLeod from us.
Yeah,
that's it. So Lewis McLeod, you just have no idea if he's going to stay fit or not, but you bought him for a reason. I always generally trust the players that Brentford sign.
They lost a lot of players though. There's been a lot of outs.
Yeah,
and
true.
Not many ins.
I think Nick Powell going is massive loss for them. I think he would have. I think he probably did enough to keep them the right side of the relegation zone last year. I think he's ace.
Yeah, I think it's a fair shout to have them down there. But I think that so. The reason I've not put them in there is because I think, and this is going to be a running theme, I think there are moments when there are teams that just have a nightmare or catch fire. For me, Birmingham is a bit of a mess. And the big thing for me with Birmingham is one, the problems with the manager, and also the fact of how well Gary Monk did for that team last season.
Yeah.
But probably even more important than that, the loss of Jota and Che Adams. Those two together, that's loads of assists and that's loads of goals. I think it's 22 goals he scored last season. Jukovic had a great season as well, but I think part of that is, that's another thing in the Championship, that a lot of players have got that one good guy, but if you can have 2 or 3 good guys that people are concerned with, it allows more opportunities. And I think for Jukovic in previous seasons when he struggled to score goals, it's been because he's been the guy up there on his own and he is a bit of a battering ram. With Che Adams running in behind and scoring so many goals for them, and Jota as well there.
They need to replace that. I'm not sure if they have the money to do it, but...
Well, that's a lot of money they brought in. They got 13 million for Adams and 4 or 5 million for Jota. So, I mean, that's...
And they've got a caretaker manager at the time of recording, and
who's to say, are they going to get... I mean, I don't know what the finances like now. Are they out of the woods with that, or are they looking at another point deduction?
They need to cut back quite heavily.
Yeah, I think
They've still got some decent players there.
I mean,
they
I
have.
think Maxine Collins the best right back in the league. Personally, I think he's absolutely fantastic.
I just think I can see it turning really sour, and I can see them selling more players. I think Morrison, the centre back, was linked with someone, so I can see more players leaving. That's a lot of goals that you've lost.
I get
and
that. Yeah.
Someone sinks.
They're going to
And I
replace.
think it could be Birmingham.
They're going to replace, but that whether it's at the same level, probably doubtful. It is interesting how you've got them second bottom because the rest of us have got them probably comfortably staying in.
I mean, prior to the point deduction thing, they were having a good season. They were almost knocking on the door of the playoffs before it just imploded the season. So
True.
maybe I'm being a bit harsh where I've got them, to be honest. But I just think the club just seems in a bit of a state at the moment. They've lost arguably the two best players.
I think that does play a part. Does play a factor.
Just a spiral.
And like
Monk's
at
gone.
home as well, being up for it as well. The fans being up for it as
Yeah,
well. It can spiral. So that's why I've chucked them in there.
The reason why I'd counter it, I mean, I looked at the squads around the bottom, who I thought was going to be around the bottom, and I think that Birmingham's is generally a little bit stronger, and they are a very experienced Championship team.
Yeah.
But no, I get that argument going forward.
The thing with the manager as well is, I forget his name now, but he was assistant manager to Gary Monk, and they've given him the caretaker manager job.
Pep Clotter.
That's it. Without the statement said that they weren't really looking for a proper manager. They're just going to have a caretaker for it. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like,
They're not getting a proper manager.
Exactly.
He was at
And-
Oxford, wasn't he? He was
He's at Oxford, yeah, and he's been at a few Spanish clubs as well. And yeah, he's followed Gary Monk around. I just think that's a mess. That is who's going to go sign for Birmingham? You got to replace Shay Adams. Who's signing for them?
David
No
Marshall.
one, in my opinion. So I think they're going to
Unless you're paying, unless
So-
you're paying him enough. That's the thing.
that's a very valid argument, really. I mean, there are a few poor teams in the division next year.
Yeah.
And that's probably a bit snobby, but I think that they could easily fall into that trap if they don't make some smart signings soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think so. Again, another thing that's so Barnsley. We've all got them going down, apart from you, Dom.
Barnsley, yeah. So
I nearly popped them out there. I was trying to do that, but then I just struggled. I couldn't because I thought we were going to be okay.
there was just so many unknowns there with me, and that's the thing, because of the German manager or Austrian manager. He's made a lot of signings from the Championship in the version in Germany.
Yeah.
And so it was such an unknown. So I to be honest with you, I can't say that that's out of any knowledge. I just have this feeling that maybe it could go right for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So two signings from Hanover, one from AC Horsens,
There's a lot.
Apo Halme from Leeds United, two from Leeds United, another player from Diaby from Lokeren. Thoughts on him, Craig?
Yeah, I think he's got talent.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking. I had them in second bottom because I was looking at the number of players that left, but also sort of the positions, and they all played consistently last season. I think they lost their two centre backs, one to.
So Liam Lindsay, Ethan Pinnock. Lindsay a centre back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the keeper's gone as
I
well.
didn't realise there's two.
I think the
Big
core of their
change.
defence is gone.
Yeah.
The core part.
That's what I looked at. Yeah, it was like 8 or 9 players gone, and most of them were around the starting 11.
They were
for
key
the
components,
majority.
weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big change.
Big changes afoot.
The
Tags.
thing that nearly put them out was what you were saying about the recruitment might be smart. The second one was that they're this season's Rotherham. They're this season's Burton Albion. They're the team that everyone's going, oh, go on. And
Maybe.
that narrative is quite helpful, I think, for teams. And so they'll stick with the manager, they'll battle away, and there won't be that same. I don't think they'll finish rock bottom because I don't think that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there'll be that same sort of disgust at them losing. So they'll keep battling away.
What you just mentioned there is interesting, where people are kind of almost unofficially supporting them wanting to do well. I think that's Luton.
Do you? I think maybe that's because I'm a QPR fan. Generally, people don't like Luton.
I'm with you on that one, but I know where you're coming from maybe.
Because they look at it and go, what? Luton are in the Championship? I
Yeah.
want them to do well.
Because of the journey that they've had.
Yeah.
I think it's different because I think the different clubs that have different experiences around.
And different age groups as well.
I mean, we had a few battles with
we
Luton.
don't like them.
But no, it's interesting. I mean, we're talking about Barnsley, but we've all put them in roughly the same position: 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
They're going to be down there.
Yeah. I mean, I would unless it all clicks for them. I think they'll be down there personally.
Yeah.
I think they'll do unbelievably similar to Rotherham. I think they'll battle, but I just don't think they've got enough.
Yeah, I think they got. I want to say they got like 94 points or so. It did very well in League One last season, and you do wonder if. I think the Football League is catching on in terms of teams that press and teams that are forward thinking, and that German style as well. And I think maybe 2 years ago they might have a much better chance because it was new, maybe a bit like Huddersfield a few seasons ago. I think people have maybe caught onto it a little bit now, so it might be a bit tricky for them.
I just think losing 3 of your consistent back four
is a massive loss.
Fuck anyone over.
So, in terms of teams going down, there's one more team that 2 of you put in there. Craig, Dom, both put Reading.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
They had to cut back massively, and I think they're relying on quite a lot of youth this year. I just got. I have. It's a feeling. But I know it's based on the fact that they haven't really made massive signings. They didn't have a great season last season.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, if you look at who they've actually brought in,
so they've only brought in João Virginia
versus a lot of players out, and I think it may be that they have to rely on youth, but personally I think they're going to really struggle.
Yeah, they what's his name? Nelson Oliveira came in January, which I think helped them quite a bit last season, and I think they sort of turned around at the end. A lot of people like the manager, Neves, I think it is. But I think they'll be down there. It'd be interesting to see who they can bring in sort of last minute.
I think they'll get loans. Chelsea have quite a good relationship with them and tend to. I think the last few seasons they've had a few.
Lost Bodvarsson, who got 12 goals for them actually last season. So they've lost some goals as well. I think you're right. I think they need to be smart and need to move quickly. They obviously have done with Everton already. I think they could put them in a similar bracket to QPR in terms of how the Premier League money is gone now. So you need to find a new way of figuring it out. And I think the loan market is probably a smart way of doing it. I wonder if they've got the connections that we've got, and also being a London club is pretty helpful. And well, we can get onto QPR now, I guess. QPR, none of you have put QPR down there, which is good.
You're welcome.
So I'm pleased.
Not far off there.
It's my channel, it's our podcast, so we can talk about QPR for a second, can't we? I don't think we've got Stoke or Brentford in the bottom half.
No.
So
interestingly, we've all got QPR in the same position.
18th.
Us 3, yeah.
Happy with that?
As have the bookies.
As has the bookies.
Oh.
And look who I put in 18. Reading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think there are a lot of clubs in this next bracket. So we can I think you can lump QPR with the likes of Millwall. I think Hull are really going to struggle.
Do you think?
By the way, Jared Bowen has to go.
So,
but he's not though. But he's not as yet. So until he does, they're not going to struggle.
I looked at Hull. And I wanted to put them higher. And the reason why I wanted to put them higher was because of how much money they've made in the transfer window. They're also still getting parachute payments, 17 million.
Yeah.
And I feel like that there is scope for them to buy more players in the rest of the window. So I had them higher, and then I kept comparing squads and then bringing them down and down and down. I think I had them as 15th.
Yeah.
But I think they had an okay season last year.
For me,
I think they were mid-table.
They were challenging to a point, weren't they?
Yeah,
12.
They fell away.
But has Bowen been linked?
Jared Bowen got 22 goals last season. Fraser Campbell got 12. Grosicki, left wing, got 9 for him as well. I just cannot see how Grosicki and Bowen are there after August 8th. Someone's got to go and get Bowen. Have to.
But they'll get money for those, and they can
Who's
reinvest.
going to go in? Do you think they're Premier League, ready for the Premier League now, or a bit snapped up by a Premier League side, or is it going to be? Are we talking upper Championship?
Jared Bowen, I think.
Bowen's probably better.
I would say there are players in the Championship throughout the season that often it's a lot of people scurrying around, and about 4 or 5 times in a season there are players you go, wow, like this guy's something else. When Ramos won away at Brentford. There was no Stoke games. The Stoke games were terrible, weren't they? No,
I don't know why you even consider.
I was joking.
All right.
But Bowen was one of
really
them.
enjoyed
Bradley Dack was one of those as well, where I was like, wow, he's better than most players.
They're an interesting one to talk about. We'll come on to that.
But Bowen was one. Bowen was one for sure. For him to score 22 goals from right wing.
He was linked with, like all young players, he was linked with Spurs, wasn't he?
But I just think someone's got to go and get him.
I agree.
And because of that, I see them down there. But you're right, they probably will reinvest that money. Evandro played for him a lot last season as well. He's gone.
How much would he go for, Barry?
I don't know how many
Depends
years.
what his contract is.
14 million.
40 million.
I think
Depends
you
on
could
the
you could calmly ask for 18 to 20 million for him.
If he's got 3 years in his contract, then definitely.
Yeah. So I have them down there, Hull. No one else seems to. Then it seems like we've got a lot of the same teams. Dom, you think Birmingham are going to struggle? Owen, you got them a bit higher up.
3 of you've got Luton.
Yeah, 3 of us got Luton in 19.
I've got them slightly higher.
Did you mention Millwall?
Millwall.
all got them staying
Two. You got Owen and Craig got Millwall down there as well.
I mean, I saw them. I went with Dom. When they played Brentford, they were awful.
But they when it matters though, and it's at home, they will win.
I know, but do you feel like their time's maybe running out?
I think that's
maybe.
I think that's a fair point.
Maybe.
I think losing Gregory to Stoke that's a great buy.
Yeah, it is.
Because he knows the league. Definitely. He's horrible. He works so hard.
Well, he matched that philosophy,
he's technically better than you think as well. Like, he is. He's good. He's good. He's a good player.
He matched that philosophy down at Millwall at home, and I think losing that will rip a massive part of their
What you
philosophy.
can expect with Millwall next season is they've signed Bodvarsson and Matt Smith. They will be, they're going to be bombing.
They were doing that already.
And they were doing it already. Yeah, it's going to be a horrible place to go to. Blah blah blah.
They'll try and get it. We always say, don't we? Get down the wing, cross it in, and score a goal. But I think that they will play long to extent. But I think that would be their main.
Yeah, Matt Smith is statistically a cracking buy. Yeah. A really, really good buy. I always think he's better as a sub because you bring him on, there's that little bit of chaos when you're chasing the game or whatever, and a lot of his goals come from that kind of stuff. And when he starts games, it's there's an element of confidence that goes in the opposition because they go, oh well, he's not gonna press, or he can try, but I'll just walk around him, and so that allows the rest of the team to play a lot better. So if he's starting every week, that in some ways that could be detrimental to Millwall a little bit. But they need a striker that's going to kind of be that Gregory. And they didn't score many goals last season. Gregory only got 10 last season. I think they'll be down there, but they do find a way a lot of the time. So I've got them in this sort of middle area as well. I've put QPR 14th.
Got to be
you're a good manager.
I think we should talk about our teams because
you've got a good manager.
I like Warburton. We don't have a striker right now. We really, really don't have a striker.
I was literally going to say the same thing.
That's a problem. We've lost Luke Freeman, who brought so many assists and the odd goal, and we've lost Matt Smith, who got us a lot of goals as well, and we've lost Naki Wells, and we've lost Tom Hemed. So that's a lot of players. The players we brought in, I'm excited by though, long term. Like there's a lot of these players who go, okay, they're fine, but are they going to be playoff players? Conor Masterson's come from Liverpool, he's captain of their under-18s, maybe their under-23s as well as a centre-back. Luke Amos, Spurs fans were raving about him for a long time, had a bad injury last season. Matt Smith as another midfielder who come in, who's had a full season at Twente and did well.
Wales, yeah.
Players played for Wales. Yeah. So I'm excited about those players along with the youngsters that we've got. It is a risk with QPR. But I just think that there's no way that we won't sign a couple of exciting strikers on loan at least. And because of that, I'm optimistic, and I want to say we're going to do something this season.
Do you know what? They're another team I had higher, and then I was comparing the squads, and I was looking at the strikers, and there isn't anything, is there? But as you say, you will sign something. It just depends on whether you get that right, in my opinion. That forward is so important to you. Yeah. And that's why I put them where they are.
And we're hoping that Luke Amos has a great season, and whereas Luke Freeman, you know he's going to play, you know he's not going to get injured, you know he's going to get your assists.
And
Eze, big seseason for him.
Very exciting.
Huge season for him because he's got so much talent, and in a Warburton team, it should really suit him. Should really, really suit him. He had a really bad... I don't think he even had that bad a second half of the season. It was just that typical thing where you have that young player who people are all excited about, and they catch fire for a bit, and then the adrenaline drops.
Catches up.
But I also think we should have kept playing him. I think there was this thing about him maybe being tired and you've got to take him out and protect him and all that nonsense. I think they should have stuck with him because he made the rest of the team look a lot better. There's still a lot of... I'm slightly wary of young players that you go... Oh, you have to give young players an opportunity, but you also need an element of experience to know that week in, week out, in these tough away games that squads have got all these Premier League players, that they're going to be okay. And that's what I think Luton have done that quite smartly. They players like Martin Craney, bringing people like him in. I think there's another one.
Callum McManaman.
Callum McManaman, they know the league. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of guys. We need a couple more of those, and then there's not the same pressure on the kids. But I'm excited by Warburton and his way, and I really hope we have a manager that can be there for a while.
Yeah, it won't be boring. His style is like quite gung ho.
And I think him, Ramsey, and Ferdinand together have got really good contacts and have got good reputation within the game, and I think that will help with recruitment.
He build a good squad. He knows how to deal with young players.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he finished there or even higher. I just think at the moment we really don't know what the calibre of forward is.
Yeah. Then I just think these four names for me are just... There's nothing that exciting there for me. Maybe one of them, I don't know. Sheffield Wednesday, I think they'll struggle now that Bruce has gone because they had a bit of momentum there. Yeah. They do have some good players, but I think that could affect them. Yep. Tell me if you agree, disagree.
I agree with you on that one.
Huddersfield I put in that same bracket. In quite a similar bracket to Hull. I think they're going to lose a lot of players still. They haven't really signed anyone too exciting.
Also, they were quite weak anyway.
Yeah, they were very.
The way they finished last year, I think that's actually going to carry on this year.
I think they had quite a lot of wages as well.
Yeah, they've probably got to get rid. They've got. I mean,
Moy's got to go.
He needs to. Probably not. Pritchard's a good player.
Yeah.
And they want a few young forwards. They could be good, but they could also just have a really average season. Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right there, and they're probably one of the hardest ones to place because you want to put them. I put them struggling because it's a continuation. As I say, they haven't signed anybody. They have had Premier League wages, although they have parachute payments. My fear in parachute payments, by the way, is that the first season you're in the relegation, you're still the parachute payments you get, the 42 million that it is in the first season, is basically used on trying to stay afloat and balance out the books. Then if you're smart, then in the second season you get 34, which is quite a lot of money. So if you have flushed everybody out, the big earners, the first season, then you have a lot of money to spend that season and the 17 million the season after that.
That rings so true.
Stoke have done that.
That's not intentionally, but that's what
you've done it.
That's what's happened. We've got rid of so many players.
But I think what Dom's saying is that say like Norwich, they got rid of. Actually, to be fair, it's probably quite similar with Norwich, but Norwich actually didn't spend that much in the second season. Forget Norwich. You're saying that like literally as soon as you go down, get rid of them all. Stoke didn't do that.
We didn't do that at all. We did the absolute opposite.
Take that season to sort things out, and then you go again.
Or even like in Huddersfield's perspective, you can start to prepare for the Championship when you're Christmas if you really don't feel like
when it's settled.
Sure, they did.
They probably did.
And I think they probably did that, and then that way this season could be a season where they do finish mid-table, and they could see that as a thing which is just to stabilise, and then next season they could go again, and that's personally what I think will happen with Huddersfield.
I do think it's odd that this old Smith to us 4 million, because I don't know. When you're doing that to kind of rivals, I think a lot of people assume that Huddersfield and Stoke would be roughly around the same sort of thing. I just think that's a really bad sign. They're just kind of...
for who?
Huddersfield.
But I mean, they could be going, I'm not sure this guy's good enough.
I think he is. I think he's aceful. I'm really surprised I've let him go.
Apparently he's class.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I just don't get that.
Yeah. Oh, look.
We'll see.
4 million as well, I think it's cheap. But
if you can get 4 million.
They needed 4 million.
True. But yeah, Huddersfield would be interesting to see. There could be a shock there if they start to spend a bit of money. I can't see them doing it because I think they're being sensible. Swansea have cut the wage bill already. I can't see them doing anything at all. Yeah. If anything, they could be a surprise to go down the wrong end of the table.
Yeah.
For me.
We'll see how good of a job Potter did do this season. Because I'm not sure with all this hype, and this will really show.
And the surprise, maybe the other side, just sort of wrapping up, there's two there for me. Preston and Blackburn could maybe do something.
Blackburn have made some really good signings.
I completely agree. Yeah, I was looking at
well.
that.
And we said Dak earlier. I think
They have Dak, and I wonder if they keep hold of him. But they've also signed Gallagher. They've got some experience in Johnson and Downing as well. They'll be an interesting one to watch. I mean, they're hard ones to place as well. But I think that they'll do better than average.
Yeah.
I think they'll stay mid-table because I think those players are their names more so than sort of exciting, hungry players that are going to. I think it's too much of that, if that makes sense. There's too many of these Danny Grahams. Yeah. You need a little bit, and I think someone's got to come and get Bradley Dak. He's so good. I don't get it. So there you have it. That's the relegation places and the bottom half.
And mid-table.
And mid-table as well.